Hello and welcome. Today I have a big announcement. We have just released our second sample pack, Tenebrous. This sample pack was made for dubstep and specifically for more analog bass music. It includes basses, drums, and other effects and sounds. Not only that, but this pack has a free version with 250 samples, and the full version, which you get for only $8, will have a total of 640 free samples. Let's look a little through the sample pack, and you'll see just how much stuff we have in here. The quality of the sounds is pristine, and I made sure to include everything that a dubstep producer or any other type of bass music producer would need for their productions. From drum one-shots to drum loops, bass loops, melodic loops, and interesting vocal shots. I have everything in here. Not only that, but this pack was designed by me, Snares Works, entirely. Meaning that you get my sound in here, which is pretty cool. It's like an artist pack. So, let's start with the drum one-shots. We have kicks in different categories: heavy, normal, and short. These are really good for trap, dubstep, neuro, and any other bass genre that you're thinking about. There's some good analog ones in here that I've been using for Russian hard bass, and some other acoustic ones and short ones that are just all very usable and interesting. They're loud and they punch through the mix, and they're aggressive, and they allow you to sort of be more raw with your music. Not only that, but they have those interesting imperfections and crispiness that analog gives you that you wouldn't really be able to get if you were to just use a kick from any other sample pack. Next up, we have the snares, which similar are split into categories. I included a lot of pan snares in here because I know they're very popular and very difficult to make. These claps are not usual, they're very different, and they're supposed to give you a very weird taste to your songs and loops when you use them. We also have a large amount of cymbals. Yet again, these cymbals are very dirty and trashy, and they have this interesting sort of hip-hoppy feel to them. Although they can also be used in normal clean dubstep, I've been using them a lot because they cut through the mix nicely in such a way that they give your sounds a lot of tone, but they don't take away from the roominess of the mix. Usually cymbals can be overbearing a little bit too much. And especially analog ones, it can feel like when you put them in a song, they take away from the details of the rest of the sounds. These don't feel like that. These feel really good when mixed in, and they are very clean in a weird way, even though they're dirty. Then we have percussion. These are very weird sounds. Weird percussion, a bit of tambourines, and then some toms, both synthesized and acoustic. These toms are amazing. Their texture is just really nice. Ever since I made the pack, these have been my go-to toms because they have this nice body to them that a kick would, but they also have that nice texture that a tom would. Usually when you get toms, they either feel very sharp or very weak, and like they don't really give body. Like they don't have that body that you would want from a tom in your bass music. Here I just put in the one shots. You have 10 one shots at different pitches and sounds. They're really useful and really nice. That's it for the drum one-shots. Then we have drum loops. The drum loops are using the drum one-shots but processing them in ways to make them sound different. These are very roomy. Then we have cymbal loops. I find that these are pretty useful when you're working very fast or feel like your drop is just lacking a little bit and you want to add something on top. These are very minimalistic and they sound completely different from the cymbals that we have in the one-shots. I've completely reprocessed them and made them completely new sounds. So as you can hear, they have very weird tones to them, and these are generally made to bring life to the sections that you put them in. So these are supposed to shine. What I can say from having used them for like half a year now, I've made this back like half a year ago, and I'm just releasing it now, is these are really nice to have. These types of samples you don't get anywhere really. You either make them yourself or you don't have them. It helps a lot because they cut through in different ways than what other cymbals would. And that's really what's special about this pack, is that everything that I've made was designed to not sound usual. It's designed to appeal to those people who are looking to go above and beyond with their sound design. Then we have percussion fills and loops. So we have a few build-up drums. These are just there so you can very easily just add a little bit of a build-up so you don't have to design it yourself. Then we have the really tasty percussion loops. These are made with Foley recorded by me and processed by me, denoised by me, everything done by me. They're really tasty. You can hear they have this very interesting tone to them. It's because I've ran them through a lot of different sorts of processing to make them sound very weird. They sound almost lo-fi, and it's pretty interesting to use. I've used them a bit. They have a great usage in bass design as well, because you can layer them with your basses to add a bit more texture to them, which is something that I feel like a lot of people don't do and play around with, is texture. Then we have Tomfills. These are made using acoustic drums, and unlike the previous ones that were processed in such a way that they sound very fat, these ones sound more acoustic. They work really well though, because I made them aggressive. I made their transients very heavy, and I made them have a lot of body. And we have some weird ones. Some very weird ones. That's with the drum loops. Moving on, we have around 160 bass shots in all categories that you would want. Sustain basses, main basses, growls, fill basses, and downbeat basses. We also have gunshots and such, but they were categorized as the rest that you see in here. Let's go a little bit through them so you get a bit of an idea of what you can get from here. No matter which one I play, all of them just sound amazing. I found that one of the most important parts of this pack should be the growls. I spent a lot of time trying to design proper growls that would just make you want to headbang if you heard them in the drop. And like you heard in the demo, if you've listened to the demo, these are just super fat, very easily usable. You can just drop them in and it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, they're a growl. You can stretch them if you feel like it, or just leave them the way they are and just let them be a bit shorter than usual or a bit longer than usual. It doesn't matter. And these tones are just so unusual and weird. And that's what I love about these growls. It's stuff that you wouldn't find in other songs. And for someone who, maybe wants to make a drop and doesn't want to just design every little element, this pack is great because you just get to take a good sound and drop it in and just use it. I've used a lot of these samples just for my own production, even though I'm the type of person that just designs everything that I use. The weirdest types of basses in here. We also have gunshots. We have been asked about dubstep and dubstep style gunshots. This pack does not include any dubstep style gunshots, but these can be used for dubstep. I've seen people, I've sent it to friends before, and they have made some really cool heavy guns out of this. If you want to use them this way, these are more dubstep-y guns. I love this bass. It's so funny. And then here, the sustain basses, these can already be called like dubstep-y. These can be used for that. This is what I would describe as being dubstep-y. They're not really that heavy, but they were made to be layer basses, so they're not supposed to be heavy. I mean, come on. Odd Profit basses as well. And these weird Virtual Riot style trappy basses that you can drop on top of a sustained bass or an 808. And you can hear each one of these sounds has just a little bit of little texture in them and crispiness that just makes them come out really interesting. Then we have a lot of different bass loops. One thing that this pack has that's really unique about it is the dubstep bass drops. So you may be looking at this and saying, okay, what do you mean bass drop? This is like a bass loop, but instead of just being 8 bars, it's full 16 bars with a variation in them. So there's A section of a drop and then the B section. And it's pretty cool. Let me just go through them real quick. So one of my favorite ones is this one. So this is what you can expect from these types of loops. Very heavy, very interesting, and unusual sounds. This is one of my favorite ones because it sounds very similar to something Trinergy would make. And if you like Trinergy, you know, you have the bass in here. I love it. Then there's some weird ones like which sort of sounds like something that you would hear in Cohen Sounds music. And then you have this trappy one. Which is just interesting. It would be really cool to be used as a trap style drop. But yeah, this is the type of bass loops that you'll get. And if this doesn't tell you that it's a good pack, I don't know what will. We also have bass loops, which are just made using the bass one-shots. In here, we also have ones that I made specific basses for, like Gorecore. Which, I mean, I'm sorry, but I just love this one so much. It's just so goddamn fat. I love it. And then simple bass loops that are not necessarily to be used in drops. We also have melodic loops. These just are here so you have something to sample and play around with. So, like you can hear, and these come with stems and MIDI, so you can actually, you know, pick them apart and do whatever you want with them. If you want to make a song based on them, you have everything in there. Feel free to. Then comes the effects and the vocals. So these are just weird stuff that I've put together just so you can put in your songs, so you don't have to reach out to other packs to get your effects, right? Everything's in here. So weird glitches. All of the effects in here, the effects and vocals, are also present in the lite version, which is the free version. So you have all of these. So weird vocal shots, atmospheres. I love these. Shimmery and interesting. And then the really good ones are the noise. I've been told multiple times just how good the noise in this pack is. It's so unusual. And it has such a good taste. It sort of sounds like something you would hear in Silent Hill. Or in any other horror game. This noise right here is salt being poured on plastic on top of the microphone, if you can believe that. We also have just some more glitchy stuff. The way that I used these was to cut them up and make hyperglitch. Obviously, you don't necessarily make hyperglitch, you maybe make dubstep, but they're still really interesting to play around with. If you have basses and such that need layers, you can take these and just cut an interesting bit from them, and then just process it inside of your bass. I've been working with a lot of noise in my basses, and one thing that's for sure is that noise always adds a little bit of texture to them, especially glitchy noise. So keep that in mind. Then we have these like very weird downers. And risers. And that is it. So what would you use this pack for? Like I mentioned in the beginning, this pack is really good for any sort of dark bass music, especially if you're looking to sound more analog and sort of get out there with your style. I personally know that I've been doing that a lot. I don't like the clean sound. That's just how I am, and I know that I love dirty and weird shit. Personally, I've been needing drums and loops and weird shit for my music for a long while because as much as I like designing everything in my song, sometimes I just don't feel like designing drums. When it comes to basses, I usually design all of them, but even with these, because I made them, I still ended up using them, and you know, I'm really happy with them. Same with the loops, and same with the effects, especially. The effects are really fun. So really there's nothing to lose from this. The lite version contains a total of 250 of these samples, which me and my partner have selected. Let me show it up. Here it is. This is what you'll get if you get the lite version. So you get a bunch of the kicks, snares, cymbals. I could have already sold this for the same price and said, well, you know, this is a fully fledged pack. You can get it, you know, like other people do. But I didn't. I decided, hey, I'm giving this out for free. And if you like this, you can buy the full version. The full version, yet again, you get 400 extra samples for $8, which if you check on the site, it's a really good deal. So just showing you here what you get in the lite version. You get a bunch of the basses, a total of 40 of them. Same with the loops. The free version doesn't include the stems of the melodic loops, but you can still sample them. We're including all of the effects and vocals and atmosphere in this one. So you're getting, you know, all of this stuff. So yeah, that's what you get for the free version. And now, if we just look on the site, if you want to get this pack, you come on Gumroad. The link is in the description for here, and you will see, you know, our art, whatever. And then you'll see our description telling you how much stuff you get. And then, you know, the free version, how much it costs with the videos here and some more details. What you'll do is normally you'll be selected on the premium version, which you can see here for 8 euros, you will receive 413 samples, which is 0.02 euro cents per sample, which, I mean, come on, that's insane. If not the free version, you get 230 free samples. I'm sorry if I said 250. And then you just come on here, you click buy this, and you will receive your pack. You need to insert your email and it will all be fine. You don't need an account for this. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing to our channel and consider liking the video and checking out the demo video. With that said, I'll leave you off with, you know, a little playthrough of the demo FLP as the video ends. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting us. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.